Well, hello and welcome back to my first fishing video in since October. What is it, like 4 months or something? 4 or 5 months? Crazy. My last carp that I caught was back in July of last year. You're looking at like 7 or 8 months ago since I caught a carp. I just haven't been out. I haven't been out fishing. I went a couple of times after July, had a couple of blanks that you guys saw going in towards the winter sort of period. Then I went on a 2-week holiday to America, which was absolutely unbelievable. But I just haven't really been back out on the bank since. I think the whole YouTube thing burnt me out, plus the added fact that it's winter, cold weather, and the run of blanks that I had. I just didn't go fishing, and I have missed it, and I'm happy to be back. I'm glad to be back. So if you're happy and you're glad to see, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. I haven't changed, have I? Let's be honest. Bear with me. I haven't done this for a long time, okay? But what I was going to say, if you're happy and you know it, go down and leave a like, because that'll let me know that you guys are happy that the videos are back. We're going to catch a fish. I've got a Discordia with me today. Look at this. I am actually now fishing today. I've got 4 hours because I've got to be in Bournemouth late. I'm going to a show tonight. I've got like 4 hours to come down here and just try and catch a fish. Not even necessarily a carp. This lake that I'm fishing right now is full of small carp and silverfish. So there's a good chance I'm going to be absolutely wiped out by roach today. If I can catch 1 or 2 carp sort of between 5 and 10 pounds, the biggest one is probably pushing 15 pounds. But most of the carp in here are sort of like between, I don't know, 4 and 12 pounds or something. So yeah, be nice to catch a couple of them, but I just want to catch a fish. Just any fish. Just give me a fish. Now, as you can probably tell by the title of this video, it's going back to basics. I've just got my float rod with me today. I'm going to fish a waggler and just try and get a bend on the rod. That's all I'm after. You know, I've not come down here trying to chase a 20, 30 pound carp or whatever. It's just going back to basics. You know, I'm just fishing pellet and corn. It's just started raining as well, and I haven't got my day shelter with me. And in true South Coast angler old school fashion, I've actually forgot my tripod. I left my tripod at home, so it's going to make filming a little bit more difficult in this session, but it's not too much to worry about. But yeah, well, there's nobody on, and I'm quite liking the look of this swim here. I quite fancy baiting up a spot under this tree here. I don't know how deep it is, but I'm only going to be throwing bait out with loose feed pellet and corn out with my hand. I'm not spodding, I'm not solid bagging or anything like that. I'm not catapulting. So I'm just going to be fishing quite close in. It wasn't meant to rain, but there are raindrops hitting the water, which isn't great. I'm probably going to bait a spot up under here as well somewhere. I'm going to bait up 2 areas and just fish match style like I would if I was pole fishing. If you are new around here and you haven't seen my videos before, I've only been carp angling for sort of like 3-4 years now. I used to do a lot of like match fishing, like pole fishing, waggler, feeder, all that sort of stuff. And I would always bait up 3 spots. I'd have a long line, a short line and a margin line. So when I come back to this sort of style of fishing, it excites me a little bit. The thing is with the carp fishing, you're obviously targeting bigger carp, but with the match sort of fishing, I just love, could it be a bream, could it be a tench, could it be a roach, could it be a rudd, could it be a perch, like, you know, all that sort of, you don't know what you're going to get, which is quite cool. And obviously using lighter tackle as well, you feel more of the head shakes, more of the fight, you know, which is really good. But anyway, I'm going to stop waffling, I'm going to get the gear out, and I'm going to see if we can get that float to dip under and we can hook into anything. Fingers crossed. Let's get the stuff out of the van. Well, when I said going back to basics, I really did mean it. Look, I mean, I've got my nothing basic about this chair. If you haven't seen, I've just done a review video on this actually. Oh, it's so nice to just be sat in this. It's so comfortable. But yeah, going back to basics, it really is. I mean, I've got my bait, which I'm going to show you in a minute. I've got my little float rod and my float reel, Maver matching set. I've got my tackle bag, which has got my floats in, my split shot, that sort of stuff. Old school on hooking mat. Look at these. I mean, most places you need sides now, but here it's okay for me to just use that. And then obviously got my little net as well. So yeah, literally net, unhooking mat, rod, reel, bait and tackle. That is it. And talking of basic, the old classic pellet and corn. Now I have got hemp seed in there as well, and I know this time of year hemp seed's not very digestible for the carp, but I did have it was mixed in with some of the maize. You can see some of the maize in there as well as the corn. There's maize. You can see the difference between the maize and the corn. Look, for anyone that didn't know, let's get some maize. That's maize, and a bit of corn. Where's corn? There's a bit of sweet corn. There's a difference between the maize and the corn. I'll grab another bit of maize. There you go. It's just a bit more, got a bit more substance. I think it's a bit chunkier, but the classic pellet and corn mix you can't beat. Now I did I mixed in the corn with the pellet last night just to make it, give it the pellet a little bit of moisture, because I wanted the pellets to be a little bit softer. Pellets work well all round the year, but in these winter months I want some soft baits. So hopefully if they're in the water for an hour or so, they will start to break down, or maybe not even that. I mean, I don't know the science behind it, but yeah, they've been softened by the sweet corn. Like I say, a little bit of hemp and some maize in there as well. Lovely. Well, I knew this was going to be a nightmare to film because I haven't got my tripod, but basically I've got my float on there, got a few shot on there, and I've also got this on the hook. Now this is a plummet. If you guys don't know what this is a weight that you attach to your hook. So basically the weight is, if you can imagine the bait is where the weight is, you're basically trying to plumb the depth so you can find how deep it is in the area that you want to fish. So I can feel there that is on the bottom. So that float, look how far the float is out the water. I can feel the weight on the bottom, which is there. So that is half a foot over depth. So if the float goes all the way down like that, you know that your bait is basically on the, you're fishing over depth. I'm absolutely, I mean, don't come to me for lessons because I'm just so clear in what I'm saying, aren't I? There's going to be loads of videos out there showing you how to plumb the depth, but basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to level up the float with the weight, so you're fishing the exact depth. And what that does is means that you're fishing on the bottom. I want to be fishing probably an inch off the bottom. If not, I can try fishing on the bottom. If not, I can fish mid-water. But basically the plummet, or the weight on the end of your hook, is basically showing you how deep it is in the area that you want to fish. Bloody good job I don't do tutorial videos. Bloody good job I don't do tutorial videos, isn't it? Go ahead and watch Carl and Alex for that. But anyway, yes, I've just cast out here. I've cast out to where I want to fish, and I can see the float just under the water. I don't know if you can see that on camera. I'll see if I can point it out. It's just, you can't pick that up on the camera, but the float is just under the water. So I know that I'm at this point I'm fishing just off the bottom, because when the float's up, obviously the hook's going to be off. So I want to probably raise the float, make it a little bit deeper by half an inch, and I'm going to be exactly where I want to be. But whilst I've got the float there, actually let me plumb it up for you. Right, so I've just slid the float up the line a little bit to make it a bit deeper, and that there is now is perfect. You can see the float. That is now, the hook will now be sat on the bottom, but I want it just off the bottom, so I'm going to slide the float down a little bit, but it's where I want it. And whilst the float's there, I'm now going to throw my bait in over there, so I know that I'm putting my bait in exactly where I want to fish. Not too much, 2.5 scoops, and I've spread it around the area. So by putting out quite a big spread, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get the attention of the fish from over there in the lake, over there in the lake. Hopefully they heard that, and soon they'll be able to smell it, and they'll come in and hone in and start grubbing around. That's the plan. So let's shut up waffling. Let's stop with these awful, I mean, you didn't understand a word of what I was saying when I was plumbing the depth, so let's stop with these awful tutorials and get a fish in the net. Come on. Right, well, it's proving really, really difficult. I've been over fishing under that tree, and I was there for half an hour, 45 minutes, didn't get a sniff. So I've brought it back out straight in front, and I'm fishing the same sort of distance, same sort of depth. And I was sort of fishing just off the bottom, and it was drifting through, no bites. And now I'm fishing slightly over depth now, so it's on the bottom, and still not had a bite yet. I'm finding it really baffling, because even though I know it's cold in here, there are so many fish in here, and I can't get a bite at the moment. It's really, really strange. Well, I was just speaking to the bailiff, and he said you will catch one, because there's so many fish in here, and he said give it another 20 minutes here, and if nothing, then you might have to move up, because the lake's empty, so I might move up a swim or two. It is a lot deeper up that end, so it's going to be a bit more difficult, but he's saying just fish half a rod length in the margins, you know, just out in front of you, or down to the side. He said keep it close in, keep it quite accurate, just keep feeding bait over the top, and you might nick one that way. But I think I'm going to give it another 15-20 minutes here, and then if nothing, I'm going to move up. But yeah, I really did think that I'd have more, even from the silverfish. Like, I'm surprised I've not even been getting like roach bites or anything. I think if I was to fish mid-water and chuck out, I'd probably get a couple of roach bites, which I might have to do later if I don't catch anything. if I'm on a blank with about half an hour to go, I'll fish mid-water for the roach. But yeah, it's quite surprising, really. But as the saying goes, it's just nice to be out. A bad day's fishing is better than a good day at work, and that is true. So I'm happy about that. Just nice to be out. That's what they say, and it's so true. Well, I've been watching this float for a while now, and I've had absolutely nothing. Not even an indication, a sniff, a nibble, nothing, absolutely nothing. So what I am going to do is I'm going to head up a couple of swims, and I'm going to go with a real stealthy approach. Sorry, I'm not looking at camera, I'm keeping my eye on the float. I'm going to go with a real stealthy approach and just fish half a rod length out in front of me. It's the bailiff's advice, so it'd be silly not to take it. I'm going to be really careful and really slow when I'm plumbing up the depth, and then I'm just going to trickle bait in over the top and fish on top of it. But yeah, that's the plan. Right, time to vacate the swim and jump in to the swim up there. Let's get moving. Right, well, I know I was told half rod length, but it seems ridiculous to just be fishing just here. So I'm just over rod length, and I'm just on the edge of that bush there. But even there, it's only about 3 foot there. I was fishing in almost 5 foot of water in the other swim. So, I mean, just half a rod length down here in the margin, it's about 2 foot. So I want it to be a little bit deeper. But I've just been trickling bait in over the top here, and no sniffs just yet. Well, it's funny who you speak to, isn't it? Because I just had someone come around and start speaking to me then. And he asked me how I was getting on, and I was like, not a sausage. He goes, yeah, he goes, it's funny. He goes, it's fishing bloody hard at the moment. And I said, yeah, but you'd have thought, like, you know, it wouldn't be too difficult to pick up just a roach or some sort of silverfish, a bream or anything. And he said to me, he goes, I was fishing it last week. I was pole fishing. I was down here for 3 hours on maggot. He said, I didn't have a single bite. He tried bottom, he tried middle, he tried fishing up in the water, like, he tried everything. He said he could not for the life of him get a bite. He had 3 hours out, he gave up. He said, I've never found it so difficult to get a bite. But for some reason, yeah, it's really shut down here. And it's funny because when you talk about lakes shutting down and hard to get a bite anyway, you think to yourself, well, you know, if it's a carp water or a carp fishery, then that's fair enough. But any sort of like water like this where it's full of small carp and silvers, like, it never tends to like shut down as such, or it never tends to be difficult to get a bite. But after hearing that, it's made me feel a little bit better. Listen, I don't like putting videos out on YouTube for you guys to watch where I'm sat here and I can't even catch a bloody roach or bream. Makes me look absolutely terrible at fishing, and it's a bit of a waste of time for you guys to watch. But I'm still going to put this video out because it is what it is, you know. And yeah, I'll show you the times that I catch a 30s, and I'll show you the times that I don't catch a bloody roach. I'm just being true to myself, and I'm being true to you, and that's, a lot of people do like the honesty of these videos, so I'm going to be honest with you. I'm struggling right now to catch a roach or a bream, and I did not think I'd be in this position, but That's the way it is, folks. Oh dear. It's just nice to be out, isn't it? You'll never guess what. I've just been done. Well and truly done. I've waited 7 months for a carp. Liam messaged me and said, have you had anything? And I sent him a video of the float in the water saying, nope, not a sniff. And literally as soon as I pressed send, the float went boom, under like that. And I've hit it, right? And it just started going bzzz, like obviously it started running, the reel's going bzzz, it's running, and it's a carp. It is 110% it's a carp. And it picked it up and it went right, and it tried to get in those rushes. Down the margin. I managed to keep it out, but there's a set of pads that are dying over the back, but they're still there. And he ran straight into the pads, and I wasn't giving it too much, but I was giving it enough to let it not take the mick really. And the hook just pulled, and I've lost it. I've got everything back, got the hook back, got all the split shot back, float, everything come back. The hook's just pulled. Oh, bloody hate fishing sometimes. I mean, it was great fun. Playing the fish was great fun. And it's a great sign. I've got a hook to fish. They're feeding. I found them. It's done me. It wasn't even a silverfish as well. It was definitely a carp. Oh! I couldn't get my camera quick enough to film. I still had the phone in my hand from when I messaged Liam saying I didn't have a sniff, and I managed to get it on the camera, and I sent him a video of me playing the fish, so I'll put it on screen for you now. There is a bit of bad language in there, so I'll bleep that out, but yeah, this is the footage of me playing the fish. Or it's like a 5-second clip of me going, I ain't getting this. No. Mate, literally as soon as I filmed that saying not a sausage, my float went under and I'm into a carp, and there's no way I'm landing this. Look at this. You know. I feel absolutely gutted. I really do. But I'm laughing because I know that when Tom watches this, he's just going to be absolutely wetting himself. Oh. He's going to be like, mate, you waited 7 months to catch a carp. Then you hook one and lose it. And I can hear him now. I can hear him laughing just now. Like right now, I can hear him laughing. Guys, if you don't know who Tom is, go and check out Chunkster Fishing on YouTube. He bullies me all the time. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Ah, but this is just giving him ammo to do it. Right. I'm going to go back in and I'm going to catch one and redeem myself. Right, there's a lily pad blown across that I ripped out. So those pads are just up there behind those rushes. I don't know if you can see them. Yeah, you can sort of see them in the water there. Oh, see them there? Just a dying patch of pads. And that's the one I ripped out there. Ah, the one that got away, eh? The one that got away. Well, I just thought if I get my camera out and feel my float again, hopefully it'll go under again. I can't even see it on here. Where is it? Oh, there it is. I am slightly gutted, guys, that I couldn't get me playing that fish properly on camera, so I am going to have to... Basically, my GoPro that I've been using last year, it's just a bit old now, so I'm going to upgrade. Because my videos are very, very raw. Like, I just use my phone to film, which is fine. Like, it's my style. I like doing the whole vloggy style with my phone. It's absolutely fine. But I would love to have another camera so that, you know, when things like that happen, I can just press play. Just press record. And I can record myself playing the fish, because that would have been awesome to have on camera. All I managed to do was obviously struggle to get a video that I sent to Liam. But it's not ideal when I'm trying to play fish. I don't want to try and set up my phone or set up the camera to try and film whilst I'm playing a fish, because then things like that happen. So I will invest in another camera, and I'll have 2 cameras. So I'll have like my phone as like my main vlogging camera, and I'll have another camera set up so that it catches like bites and me playing fish and stuff like that. Whether I use it as like a chest mount on like a first person view, or whether I set it up behind a chair and just have it rolling, I'm not sure. I could do both, to be honest, but yeah, I will get another camera. Still no bites from that one that I lost earlier. It's been real slow. And now the rain's moving in. Again, this rain wasn't forecast, but I'm sat here. I've probably got about an hour to go. I can't feel my fingers anymore. It's so cold. So I think I might pack up a little bit early. Say probably got another hour, but I've been here a good 3 hours. I've only had that one bite and I'm getting cold and it started to rain. It's not ideal, but February is soon coming to an end. In a couple of weeks' time, we'll be well into March, and then hopefully from there it's going to start warming up. Sunnier days, longer days, and warmer weather. That's what we want. That's when I'm really going to start knuckling down and try to catch a few carp. But I'm just so gutted that what's happened today has happened. Yeah, bloody typical, isn't it? But it's one of those things. What can you do? I've got a good evening to look forward to. I'm going to go home, get some food, get a shower, try and warm up because I'm freezing. And then tomorrow, I'm actually off on another fishing adventure, doing a full-on day session. Going to have to wrap up warm for that one. But it's going to be a good session. Whether there's going to be any fish involved or not, I'm hoping there will be a few. But I'm really looking forward to it. I haven't been there for a while, but I am going with Liam. So that video will come out. When's this video coming out? This video will come out in a couple of weeks. And then the video that I'm doing tomorrow will come out after this one in another couple of weeks' time. So what I am going to do as well is I'm going to film some videos throughout this year and upload them through the winter. So like November, December, January, February, when it's cold like this and I can't go out and I don't want to go out, there's still going to be videos for you guys to watch. So yeah, it's looking like that's all she wrote for this session. Well, there we go. That unfortunately wasn't the return I was hoping for and that I planned, but it is what it is. It's fishing, isn't it? It happens. Although it is weirder when it happens more when you're fishing like that. Going back to basics, fishing float, waggler, you know. Right, yeah, I just think fishing, that sort of style of fishing in a lake that's packed full of fish, it should have been easy to catch. I don't know why it was so difficult, but I was laying there and I couldn't feel my fingers. It started raining. I was like, you know what? I missed my chance. And had I caught that carp, you know, landed that fish, it would have been a different story. But it's just the way it goes. Like I say, it's fishing. That's what happens. And you know, sometimes it be like that. But yeah, got a trip tomorrow, like I said. So yeah, there we go. It is what it is. As always, thank you for watching. Please go ahead and subscribe if you did like it and you do want to see more. YouTube thinks you'll like this video. This was the last video that I uploaded. See you next time.